Welcome to Alive and Well, the podcast for the new era of high achievers. You're done burning out, and you're ready to lead, work, and live in a rhythm that honors both your brilliance and your body. I'm your host, Michelle Grosser. I'm a trial attorney turned nervous system strategist, and I've lived the burnout story. I know what it's like to chase your goals at the expense of your well-being. And I also know it doesn't have to be that way. Here, we're redefining success. It's where productivity feels peaceful, boundaries feel like freedom, and energy comes from within. Each week, I'll share practical tools for nervous system regulation, time mastery, and somatic strategies so you can show up with clarity, calm, and confidence in every part of your life. Because you, my friend, were given a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. So here's to life and living it fully. This is the path to feeling alive and well. Let's dive in. Hey, it's Michelle here. Welcome to Alive and Well. Today's episode is for you if you feel like you've been carrying more than probably anyone around you even realizes. And maybe you've been doing that for days or weeks or months or years. And maybe you feel like your bandwidth, just your capacity to do all the things, is quietly kind of thinning and diminishing. And if you've been feeling overwhelmed and reactive, maybe it's you've been feeling rushed or just like stretched to the edge of yourself. Maybe your patience feels shorter, or your sleep feels like it's not as restful. Your mind feels foggier. Whatever it is, I want to walk you through a shift today that I believe is going to change so much for you, because it sure did for me. And I'm not giving you a hack. It's not a mindset trick. It's not a productivity little thing. It's not this like motivational push. I'm giving you a physiological shift. It's the kind of thing that really expands your capacity because it works with your nervous system. So before we jump in, if you're listening to this in real time, it's Black Friday. And that means that Honor Your Energy, which is my brand new 7-day nervous system and boundaries reset, is officially open. The founder rate expires on Monday. So we'll hear more about that in a little bit, but just so you guys know, if you've been feeling maxed out, this is probably the most supportive place you can be. Okay, let's get into this shift. Let's start by just kind of discussing the real reason why you feel overwhelmed, because I have a sneaking suspicion that it's probably not what you think. Most women assume that they are feeling overwhelmed because there's too much on their calendar. They have too many responsibilities. There's not enough time. They don't have enough help. Maybe they think they're bad with boundaries. Maybe they think they're just like not cut out for it and they're too sensitive. None of this is true. Not at the root anyway, because overwhelm happens really because of one thing. And here it is. Your nervous system is operating at an allostatic load it can no longer sustain. So let's break down what that means. When I say your nervous system is operating at an allostatic load, your allostatic load, or the allostatic load, is basically our cumulative wear and tear on our body from chronic stress. So it's an accumulation of so many different factors, from our life and our life experiences that have just kind of built up and snowballed over time. Maybe it is the invisible labor that you're doing that, is just kind of stacking up. Maybe it's emotional pressure. Maybe you're sick and tired of making all of the decisions. Maybe you have been constantly vigilant because something happened in your past that kind of shook everything up. And now your body feels like it has to be on alert all the time. Maybe you have been suppressing or repressing emotions, and that shrinks your bandwidth. Maybe it's you are constantly overstimulated, like the sounds and the lights and the noises and the dings and the pings never stop. Maybe you're not sleeping well. Maybe you're in a very stressful or high performance environment. Maybe it's something relationally that's going on. whatever it is, when your body experiences chronic stress and that wear and tear, that allostatic load rises, your nervous system adapts. Brilliant, but sometimes really frustrating. Your nervous system can adapt in so many different ways. Sometimes our nervous system adapts by narrowing our window of tolerance. So it feels like it takes almost nothing to set us off or make us feel overwhelmed. Sometimes it adapts by reducing access to our prefrontal cortex. That's the part of our brain that we use to make good decisions and see things clearly and delegate and use our highest levels of language. Sometimes our nervous system adapts by increasing our threat sensitivity. So it seems like little things are big things and we're worrying about everything and we're waking up feeling anxious. Sometimes it lowers our capacity for emotional regulation. So little things feel like a big deal in our body, right? And all of a sudden we're like literally crying over spilled milk. Or most frequently, it sends us into a stress response, right? We go into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And I think this is why overwhelm feels instant, even when we can't really pinpoint what's triggering it. And it's not that our system is malfunctioning. Our system is doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's just maxed out. So it's not that you need more time. It's that you actually need more capacity in your nervous system. You need to grow the bandwidth of your nervous system so it can hold the life that you are living, not so you can necessarily do more, but so that you can do the things that are important to you without being sent into one of these adaptations, right? Overwhelm, losing access to your prefrontal cortex, lowering your capacity for emotional regulation, all of these things. I want the capacity to handle my life, to manage the things that come at me without it sending me into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. That capacity, the expansion of that capacity comes from your nervous system, not from your planner. And the thing is, we live in this culture that tells us, especially as women, right, that when we're overwhelmed, we need to organize better, right? How many times I've thought this myself and how many times I have received emails from you guys. I've talked to the women in one-on-one coaching containers, inside of my programs, both inside of Burnout Recovery Blueprint and inside of Rewire. They're feeling overwhelmed, they're feeling stretched thin, and they think it's this like dysfunctional organizational habit that they have. And it's not, right? You don't need to plan more. I'm promising you, this is not the root of it. You don't need to be more disciplined. You don't need to push harder. You don't need to like color code stuff even more, get up earlier. That is all secondary. The foundational issue, the scientific truth is that you cannot organize your way out of a dysregulated nervous system. You cannot plan your way out of allostatic load. You can't even try harder when your physiology literally has nothing left to give. So this is the shift, friend. If you hear nothing else today, this is the shift. Stop trying to improve your performance and start rebuilding capacity. Stop trying to improve your performance. Stop pushing harder, working harder, doing more, and instead shift your focus and start rebuilding your capacity. Because once your system recalibrates, I'll speak for this myself till the cows come home, and for the women I work with, what happens? Boundaries become easier. Decision-making gets cleaner, razor sharp. Your emotional regulation returns, right? You're staying calm under pressure. You're not just like lost in the waves in the sea of emotion. You're grounded. Your patience expands. Imagine what that does at home and at work. Your creativity unlocks. Holy moly. Burnout stops and you start to feel like yourself again. This isn't psychological. It's biological. We got to get in the body. And I think there's 3 specific physiological needs that your nervous system has when you feel overwhelmed. And this is a big deal for us to understand this. The first physiological need that we have is for predictability, safety. Our nervous system is always scanning for what's coming next. So when life feels chaotic, which it can oftentimes, especially around the holidays, your system naturally goes into defensive mode. So if we can create micro predictability, not rigid structure, but micro predictability, habits, routines, the non-negotiables that you continue to stick to regardless of what's happening around you, that lowers your threat load. The second physiological need that our nervous system has when we're overwhelmed is completion, right? There's a need in our body for cycle closure. And so many of us who are high achievers, high performers, getting all the things done, we run incomplete stress cycles, which means that our body stays stuck in chronic stress and never receives that signal of done. So we feel overwhelmed because our biology is stuck in this ongoing threat. So when we learn how to complete the stress cycles in our body, in the way that our body understands that it's okay to back down, we've survived, it's all good, movement, shaking, breath, somatic discharge, all of these things will restore clarity. And then finally, the other physiological need that our nervous system has is for space. And this is the capacity. Our nervous system needs margin. We do not need more motivation, right? Let that go. It's not about motivation. It's about margin. Margin widens your window of tolerance. And when your window widens, you have more space to handle what life's got for you today, and the overwhelm starts to fade. So let's kind of talk about the signs, and these are subtle, I think, but they're so accurate. You're probably going to resonate with a lot of these. These are the signs that you're probably at capacity. And I'll speak for myself. These are signs that were happening for me, symptoms I was experiencing for years, probably even decades before I paid attention. So if these resonate, let this be a little red flag for you that you don't have to do like I did and go years continuing to ignore these or not realizing what's going on, right? You have the awareness, know better, do better. You can do something about it. So here are the signs that you're at capacity. 1, you find yourself getting irritated at really little things. Maybe you've been feeling touched out, right? Your kids or your partner, they want to touch you. It's like the end of the day. You've been going all day. You get home, you make dinner, you help with homework, get everything cleaned up, and then everyone wants to climb all over you. You're feeling touched out. Maybe you notice that you're rushing all the time. You wake up feeling rushed. You're rushing your kids around all day long. Even when you might not necessarily need to, you are rushing. You're rushing through your meals. You're rushing through, your morning routine. You're rushing while you brush your teeth. You're rushing all day long. Maybe you have trouble switching tasks. This is one I started to notice, is that I would go from working on one thing and then open up a new browser or go back to my email and completely forget what I was doing or what I was going to do next, right? I was at capacity. Maybe you notice that you are sensing this desire to kind of withdraw. Maybe you're feeling like you need more time alone than you may have otherwise, or than you usually do. That could be a sign that you're at capacity. How about emotional whiplash? Do you ever feel like all of a sudden you're riding the highest high and you feel so good and everything is like hunky-dory, and then in the matter of a minute, it feels like everything has been flipped on its head and nothing goes right, and you're either really angry or really sad or really frustrated. It's this emotional roller coaster. Or maybe you're not feeling much of anything at all. Maybe that resonated at some point, but now it's more of like, I'm just kind of checked out, right? I'm dissociating. I'm just kind of numb. I'm here, but I'm not really here. Maybe it's procrastination. That is a signature hallmark of overwhelm, of being at capacity. And when we talk about the circuits of our nervous system and our sympathetic circuit being like our body's gas pedal and our parasympathetic nervous system being like our body's brake, when we are procrastinating, it's like both the gas pedal and the brake are pushed down all the way at the same time. So we have all of this activating energy, right? There's so much to do. I don't even know where to start. This is so big. I got so much on my plate. And at the same time, the brake is fully pressed. And it's like, I have so much to do that I cannot do anything. Like I cannot make any progress. I'm stuck. And that's a really frustrating place to be when you're at capacity. Maybe loud noises or songs or, the intro to some of your kids' shows or the lights or the car radio or the things are like, you just cannot handle the stimulation, right? Everything feels annoying and overwhelming. That's a sign you're at capacity. You have no space for more input. Maybe it is somatic. Maybe you're noticing like tightness in your chest or your gut. Maybe it's gut issues. Maybe it is clenching your jaw, right? Maybe you've been walking around with a tight, clenched jaw. Maybe even right now as you're listening, your tongue is pressed to the roof of your mouth. All of these are signs that you're at capacity. And it's not anything that's necessarily wrong. These are just indicators, right? They're indicators that you are experiencing overload and your system is trying to communicate with you. Your body's trying to tell you like, hey, chill out, slow down, right? I need help. I need space. I need regulation. And that's really the shift, because once you support the nervous system, your body and everything in your life stops feeling like an emergency. So let's go through a really quick somatic reset for overwhelm. It's a 1-minute practice. It's a quick, powerful tool. It's grounded in vagal regulation. It's used in clinical somatic work. I love this. So let me walk you through it. So we're going to start with a physiological sigh. If y'all know me, if you listen to the show, you are familiar, but it works and I love it. So let's do it. All right. So let me walk you through it once and then we'll do it together. You're going to inhale through your nose. And then when it feels like you're at the top of your breath, your lungs are full, one more quick inhale through your nose at the top of that breath. And then you're going to do a long, slow, extended exhale through your mouth. Purse your lips and let that exhale be as long and slow as you can. Let's try it together a few times. In through your nose. Another quick breath at the top. And out through your mouth. Pursed lips, let your shoulders drop, everything soften. Great. Do that again a few times on your own. In through your nose. Quick inhale at the top. And then exhaling through your mouth, long, slow, extended exhale. Keep doing that. While you are breathing in that way, go ahead, if you're standing or sitting, press your feet into the floor. Stand or sit with your feet firmly on the floor and go ahead and press your feet into the floor and just notice that contact and pressure. And then as you're breathing, on your next exhale, really let your shoulders drop. Go ahead while you're continuing to do that. Bring one of your hands to your chest, right over your sternum, gentle pressure there. Just hold it as you continue to breathe and press your feet to the floor. What are you noticing? This sequence does so much in our body. It lowers our sympathetic activation. That's our fight or flight response. It actually restores our carbon dioxide balance, our CO2 balance in our body because of the way in which we're breathing. It increases our vagal tone. That is our body's calming mechanism. And guess what, y'all? All of that widens our window of tolerance. It widens our bandwidth. It reopens access to our prefrontal cortex, that part of our brain that we really want access to if we're going to show up powerfully. And you've just decreased overwhelm in 20, 30 seconds? It's tiny, small, body-based nervous system shift that can help you come back to yourself when you need it. So whether you're listening to this in real time, it's Black Friday, it's around the holidays, maybe you're listening in December, maybe you're just listening in like a busy season of life, I just want to remind you that overwhelm is not a moral failure. It's not that you're not cut out for this. It's not even a capacity defect or like some sort of weakness or something you need a hack or a plan or whatever for. It's just a physiological ceiling. You've reached it. And the women who learn how to regulate their systems, instead of pushing harder through them, they are the ones who learn how to reclaim their presence and patience and energy and leadership. This is the shift that changes everything. So if this episode is landing for you, maybe even intellectually, you're starting to understand some things, awareness is growing, compassion is growing for yourself, or it's landing in your body, right? You have been stretched thin. You're feeling reactive. You're exhausted. You don't feel like yourself. I want you to know something. You do not have a time management problem. You have a capacity problem. And that capacity doesn't come from discipline or willpower or motivation. It comes from your nervous system. And that's why I'm so excited this week about talking to you guys about Honor Your Energy, because I've created this 7-day nervous system and boundaries reset for you with a special founder's rate that ends on Monday. Guys, I've made this I understand what you're going through. I'm there. It's short. It's actionable. It's potent. And it's designed specifically for high achievers who don't have time for a 6-hour course. So inside of Honor Your Energy, you're going to learn how to regulate your nervous system quickly. I'm going to send you daily somatic practices, just like what we just did, that take under 2 minutes. I'm going to show you how to interrupt stress responses in real time. I'm going to show you how to start building bandwidth, increasing your capacity that actually lasts, and stop leaking energy. For the love of all things, like stop leaking energy through people pleasing, overfunctioning, emotional labor, setting boundaries that your body actually feels safe enough holding so they stick. So you're going to get daily somatic resets. You're going to get a boundary alignment tracker. It's a spreadsheet I created for you guys so you can start to choose boundaries around the 4 specific areas of boundaries that you need to have set in your life to protect your bandwidth and your capacity. I have energy honoring script library for you guys, 50 plus cut and paste scripts for setting boundaries. So if you know there's a boundary you need to set, but you're like, I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to tell them that this is a boundary I have. I keep like trying to, but I'm over explaining, or the words kind of get jumbled, or I'm not clear. I've made it so easy for you guys. I have scripts that you can copy and paste for all these different areas of your life, for work, for family obligations, for the holidays, for the people who are always asking favors of you, for people who are like bringing drama and draining your energy. I have scripts for boundaries around all of these things. And if you join Honor Your Energy this week before Monday, you're going to be invited and have access to a live call that we're going to do together. So on Wednesday, December 3rd, we're going to jump on a Zoom. I'm going to walk you guys workshop style through something I'm calling your stress response profile. It's awesome. You're going to start to recognize how your body copes with stress, right? A lot of these things are subconscious. We're not even aware that we're doing them. How you're coping with stress. We're going to talk about how it's serving you, how it's holding you back. And then I'm going to teach you guys some intentional boundaries you can set around these things so you can move from surviving to thriving. It's going to be recorded. If you can't make it live, no worries. I'll send you the replay. And if that all sounds awesome and you're wanting even deeper clarity, and I'm so stoked about this, you can actually upgrade to our capacity alignment audit. And in this audit, basically how it works is you're going to take 3 to 5 days. If you want to do 3 days, fine. If you want to do more, awesome. Don't do more than 5. And on those 3 to 5 days, I have a spreadsheet. You're going to track your time and your tasks. So if you wake up at 5 a.m., you're just going to put 5 a.m., wake up, and then, go through your day. At 6, I made coffee and had breakfast. At 7, I got my kids up, and, at 8, I left the house. And tracking your time for a few days, is it an investment? Yes, I promise you. I've just done it myself last month as I was building this out. And it was a little, not even cumbersome. It just took time, right, for me to sit down and track all of this. But holy moly, when I ran it through this audit, it was wild what it brought out for me. So as you're tracking your time and your tasks in this spreadsheet that I have for you, you're also going to track the energy value of each task. So something, you're either going to track it as something that it's giving you energy, it's life-giving, you're going to mark it green. It's something that's energy neutral, like, I don't know, maybe a chore around the house that you're like, I don't hate it, but I don't love it, right? Maybe it's like folding laundry while you watch a show, whatever. It's neutral, yellow. And then you're going to mark the things that are sucking the life out of you, right? The things that you dread, that you're draining, you're going to mark those red. And you're going to track it for 3 to 5 days. And then you're going to actually, there's other questions I have for you in there, but then you're going to send that to me. It's in a Google sheet. You're going to send it to me, and I am going to run it through my custom GPT that I created for this exactly. And I am going to take the data that it gives me, and I'm going to put it into a personalized report for you, and I'm going to annotate it, and I'm going to send it back to you. And I'm going to analyze your real life stress patterns. I'm going to show you exactly where your energy is leaking. I'm going to tell you gently why you're feeling so drained. You're going to take my personality pattern quiz. It takes 2 minutes. You're going to put your personality pattern on there. I'm going to show you how your personality pattern is shaping how you're dealing with life. And then, and this is the part that I'm most excited about, I'm going to tell you 3 or 4 super precise shifts, the next steps you need to take that are going to have the greatest impact in helping your system restore capacity. So you're going to walk away with clarity you've been craving. You're going to walk away with a nervous system that finally feels supported. But enrollment at that founder rate closes on Cyber Monday. So there's a link in the show notes for either Honor Your Energy, or if you want to upgrade to the capacity alignment audit, you get everything inside of Honor Your Energy plus the capacity alignment audit. Don't buy both. Everything's also included in the capacity alignment audit. But your nervous system really, truly determines your bandwidth. And I think it's time that you get it back. So no matter when you're listening, maybe it's the holidays, maybe it's a work sprint, motherhood season, transition season, whatever it is, the overwhelm you're feeling is not your identity. It's just your nervous system asking for you to pay attention, right? It needs support in a different way. And the awesome thing is that your bandwidth isn't fixed. It's not like your capacity is gone. You're not too far behind to recover. There is a version of you on the other side of this. I've been there. I've crossed the threshold, and now I'm taking as many women as I can with me to this place where we get to feel grounded and clear and regulated and steady and present and all the goodness available to us. She's not far away. She's in there. We just got to bring her out. All right. That's what I've got for y'all today. Thanks so much for being here. I love y'all so much. Let's keep doing this work together. I'll talk to you soon.